I'm here with Shay Srivastav. He is the Director of Revenue Operations at Empyrean Solutions. We worked with him back in August of 2025, placing him as the first RevOps hire at Empyrean Solutions to really drive change in this next area of growth as they head into 2026. So it's now February 2026. We're 6 months in, Shay. I'm excited to capture a little bit of the success of the way you've been able to bring some structure and foundations and data visibility that is the beauty of what RevOps provides. So thank you for taking the time to look back at the 6 months and see what you've accomplished and the goals and targets that you're looking forward to as well in the next year. My first question for you is that day zero, post offer, starting off with Empyrean Solutions, what was the lay of the land there within the organization? What were you walking into? And what was that initial assessment for you as a revenue operator?
Yeah, I think being the first RevOps individual on the team was pretty apparent. Empyrean, to their credit, have been incredibly successful without a lot of structure in place. Their product was good enough to be able to do the work for them. But as they wanted to take the next step, it becomes imperative that you have a structure of RevOps in place. But with that also meant that there was no design playbook or a blueprint for how do we want to roll RevOps out. It was an ambitious goal at the time. We're still obviously working in. 6 months in is not really an entire life cycle of us being able to put something in place. It was such a seamless transition between being the wide-eyed new kid to running the Salesforce implementation and becoming forefront in data production for the PE firm, that it was incredibly seamless. Yeah, luckily for me, I joined right at the precipice of the start of the implementation for the migration from their previous CRM to the new one, which was Salesforce. So I was able to play a role right from the get-go. I didn't have to do catch-up in terms of understanding what the implementation is, where the focus is and things like that. So that was a blessing. In terms of the state of the land at the time, it was a very manual sort of production of data. There was merging of multiple reports. The CRM was not the most efficient tool at the time. So creating simple reporting for pipeline management or even just for the leadership team was a pain. So that's where my focus was, number one, which sort of took, we had to do a little bit of changes because our implementation original plan was for our Sales Cloud and Revenue Cloud to all go live at the end of the year, which was going to be in December. But given what we really needed to get out of the system immediately, we had to accelerate the Sales Cloud and put RevOps on the back burner and really needed to get the Sales Cloud out. So that became my first priority because without that, we couldn't really get any concrete data output or any standardized data output. So from the get-go, we jumped into building Sales Cloud out, which was pretty much August, September. And then in October is when we went live with Salesforce Sales Cloud. We rolled it out to the team. And from there on, we were able to really leverage Salesforce and figure out what our dashboards are going to look like, what our pipeline management cadences are going to look like. And obviously, we're still working on defining those because there's nothing you can do right from the beginning that's going to be perfect. You have to sort of iterate on this. That's just the nature of RevOps. You have to iterate on a lot of these processes. So we're still learning, we're still pivoting, we're still fixing things. But the groundwork for what we were going to start being able to do was laid with the Sales Cloud launch, which was that October 13th date. We have a great team. I will say this: the sales team here is in Empyrean is incredibly hungry for tools and wants to learn and wants to be more efficient. It's typically RevOps, I wouldn't say is on the other end of sales, but RevOps does create processes and layers that will turn more accountability on, which is not always the thing that sales is looking for from the beginning. It's something that takes months and months of sort of working to it, and then sales start seeing what the benefits are, and then they start getting behind it. But the team at Empyrean, the sales team, the leadership team, was very much hell-bent on getting that accountability from the get-go. So the enablement, the rollout was just one quick training. the team kind of knew what the Salesforce world was going to be anyways, but we were able to translate what you're doing in the previous CRM, this is what you're going to be doing in the new CRM. We gave them that training, and then the enablement was just led by continuous communication between myself and the team. The team is small enough where I could manage the team and their expectations directly hands-on. But yeah, I continue to be hands-on with Salesforce. It's one of the best parts about being RevOps is if you really want, you don't have to leave the field level sort of input. You can continue working on Salesforce in the back end. You can continue working on reporting. You can be as strategic as you want, or you can be as tactical as you want. So I definitely switch my hats depending on what the situation is. Right now, I have to be incredibly tactical because we're building a lot of these things out. But I can foresee sort of like in the summer where the strategic hat's going to start coming on, where with the team, we're going to be in a place where we can start building the function out rather than just being reactive, which is what we are kind of at the moment. I think data is the heart of any sort of go-to-market team, especially modern sales organization. Data is the key, right? It's the heartbeat of all sales organization. I think being able to put the right data in front of the team, being able to build a forecasting model that was actually accurate, giving the field level sales reps the ability to forecast properly, building more medic formulations within our sales processes, standardizing our sales processes. I mean, we can keep going down that entire sort of initiative, which was standardizing sales process. But being able to do that just has given, it's just given a little bit of a freedom to the sales team where they don't have to think as much about what the next step is. They can react. It's not there 100%, but giving them that efficiency, obviously, time, month over month is going to put us in the forefront of when we're doing product launches. And then also we're also bringing HubSpot in from a go-to-market perspective, and that's been a very strategic build for us from the beginning of this month. That is also playing a role in Salesforce, and now with the new product launches that we're going to have from moving forward, we're not doing ad hoc sort of pull the list from here, merge it on this and then send emails. It's going to be very accountable, objective, data-driven decisions we're going to be making, and that's the foundation we're layering right now. We're building those dashboards, we're building those reporting. So when we start becoming more strategic down the line, even more strategic, we have the right data to be able to guide us in which way we want to go. And that's actually the beauty of this entire thing. For me, coming in here with the white space, being the first RevOps person, was I got to design a lot of this from ground up. I mean, obviously, I've had my mentors, I've had my manager, I've had the PE firm's consulting team. Like, they've all been able to pitch in and help us out, but I've been able to design all of this, which just is, for someone like me who is just wants to own their work, it's been an absolute blessing. Like, I get to own my work, and for the better or worse, it's mine. So I get to put my name behind it and move forward with it, which just gives me a lot of self-assurance and my own sort of knowledge. I think it's just much more of a organized go-to-market motion at the moment. It's not as chaotic as it can be if you didn't have a centralized go-to-market team or a centralized RevOps team with a powerful CRM behind it and a good marketing operations tool. So we're doing our launches this year. We're going to be aggressively launching products, and we can see the benefit of having a great foundation go-to-market and RevOps team now come into play, where there's efficiency, there's not a lot of confusion. There's a lot more unification when we're going forward. It's that everybody knows sort of what their roles are, and this also is a kudos to our leadership team, because RevOps has always historically been considered this sort of byproduct and something that's an after launch. What is the efficacy of our launch? That's kind of where RevOps has been. But when you put RevOps at the forefront and you put them in with the planning and you really help let us be strategic with the product launches, it's just a whole new level of organization. It makes things so much more seamless because we have those levers of what is marketing doing, what is it going to be post-sales, what's that handoff going to look like, and what is sales motion going to look like. So we have those contexts. Granted, we haven't been able to expand on that just yet because we're still building it in Empyrean, but if you put RevOps at the forefront of any of those initiatives, you will immediately see those benefits. It's just a much more transparent, much more efficient go-to-market motion. Yeah, I mean, if I were to give an analogy in that context, it would be like if you're driving to a destination and you need a GPS system for it, RevOps is that GPS system, right? Like, we lay the foundational groundwork for how you're going to get to your target. Now it's not something that's going to be incredibly like sort of self-isolating where we're going to be doing all the work and we don't get any of the credit. That's not the context there. It's more of we will build the guiding path to how revenue is going to be attained or how we become more efficient in revenue. So for example, if I can make our pipeline velocity, be much more efficient than before, even if it's reduction by 15 to 20%, let's say for example, or I can increase our conversion rate from X amount to increase it by another 10%, that's going to hit the bottom dollar pretty quickly. And it depends on the context you look at it. You can look at it as a supporting function, but then you can also look at it as a very much a revenue generating function. You put more into RevOps, that efficiency goes up, pipeline velocity increases, and then your conversion rate increases, things like that. Your average deal size is increasing, forecasting is becoming more tight. You are much able to say what your quota attainment is going to look like. So you become much more intelligent, and you can have a business that's driven, and you can be much more intelligent about the decisions you're making. So it's RevOps is very much what you put in it, you will get out from it. So if you see that as a support function and don't put the effort into it, don't have the right alignment with it, don't give it the attention it deserves, it's not going to be able to make huge strides for you. But if you're able to put the resources in, it can transform an organization, absolutely. Absolutely. We have weekly outputs from our sales reporting that is sent to our leadership team, that's sent to our PE team, that was not available before. And it started out as a small little email, which was with a screenshot of a table, and now it's a 4-page deck that goes out with a PDF, and it has like all these fancy, metrics on it. It's got quarter by quarter breakdowns. So I think, and it's been really appreciated too by the team. So it's something that's definitely driving the needle in towards like how we want to continue using RevOps, and that's just from a data perspective. The pipeline management, the dashboards, the reporting, the CRM, that's just one component of RevOps. And RevOps also has enablement in it, which we can work on, right? RevOps still has the systems other than just CRM, what all other systems you want to use, and then efficiency between marketing, sales, implementation, and then hand off to the service team. Like, that is the full breadth of RevOps. So we are just at the very precipice of using like the 5 to 10% of it. And we've already seen great results from that. We've gotten a lot more intelligent with our data. I can't wait to see when we can build the full breadth out and then we have intelligent data across, what that's going to look like. I mean, it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of effort, but that's the North Star we're aiming for. It's just the next page in the white space. It's the next page that we're going to be turning over. What is that next challenge we're going to be building out? Is it going to be building a deal desk out, or building more of a contract management tool, onboarding playbook? I mean, there's just so many different things which path we can go on. That's what excites me. It's not going to be. I can absolutely guarantee that for the next 1 year, I am not going to be bored at my job, and that just is so much. That's so much more fun than I did, rather than being bored and doing the same thing over and over again. I'm just excited about what the possibilities are, and there's just a lot of different ways we can go. If I can make a quick little plug for RevSearch and the team over there, I will say that it's really easy to work with recruiters and just get placed in the first place that they see you as a plug-in option, and they'll get their commission to move on. But RevSearch was incredibly beneficial to me in my career. I can't emphasize enough how thankful I am that they were able to place me in a place like Empyrean, where they're actually going to be using my skills to the best of their ability and best of my ability, really pushing me, really working with me, the management team that they matched me up with. So I mean, again, RevSearch is where it all started for me for this role, and again, I can't thank them enough for the support and the help that they did. And every step of the way, I was able to text David like at odds hour at the night, and he was responding to me because of something that happened. So like, that kind of support was really good to get at the time that I needed it.